Chirp chirp, welcome back to the Pathway Podcast, for students by students. We are here to teach you everything from resume to the first day. My name is Tessa Anfield, and today we're going to be talking about professional networking, some of the resources out there, and ways that you can get involved. So we're going to have everyone introduce themselves real quick.
Hey there, I'm Reagan. I'm a third-year senior advertising major. I also have theater and digital marketing strategy minors.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm a junior. I'm studying media promotion and management. I also have a minor in digital marketing strategy and analytics, as well as strategic communications.
Hi, I'm Sam. I am a junior media promotion and management major with a minor in marketing.
Hey, I'm Tessera. I'm a senior media production major with minors in media promotion and management and digital marketing strategy and analytics. And now we're going to get into the importance of professional networking. Since a lot of you are here for the job hunting stuff, that is obviously one of the big aspects of professional networking. But generally, networking can help in a lot more ways than just that. It helps with your personal career development and your growth as a person, where you can find mentorship, guidance. You can get references on like LinkedIn and establish some lasting relationships as well. So going more into that, when assisting the job search, having all these contacts, you can get notified really early if there's a new job opening coming out from someone you know, or someone's left an organization. And having these connections with you, you can find out early about these positions, which is very advantageous for applying. And you can get career advice and support, which is really valuable in gaining insights into career paths and skill development. So networking allows individuals to provide guidance through industry or career-related challenges. You can gain unique perspectives from others, learn from the successes and mistakes of those who've been in your position, and stay informed about latest developments in your field. Establishing references, these are like past employees, co-workers, or clients who can verify your work ethic and achievements. This is really important for looking into the job world. And the more connections you have established, the more trust and credibility that you build. So developing lasting relationships as well. There's a good chance that the people that you're surrounded with likely have things in common with you. So having these connections early on can help as a professional contact, but also a potential friend. And you can build confidence because you're stepping out of your comfort zone and meeting new people. So these are all some of the really important ways that professional networking can help you out in a long term and not just with things like looking for jobs. And now we're going to get to some of the ways that you can get involved.
The internet has become a valuable tool to make connections with those who may live far away. Everywhere you go, people are always on their phones using the internet. As technology evolves, it not only improves our lives, but it also improves our career. Before you can begin networking, you must set up your account. So you're going to want to start with your profile picture. And when you do that, you want to use a professional headshot if you have one. If you don't, you can use another professional photo of just you by yourself, because it might be confusing if there are others in the photo. And then you're also going to want to choose a banner. And you can use, again, a professional photo you took, or LinkedIn provides a lot of good banner options. When choosing your headline, don't just state your job title. Write a little bit about what you do during your job. This could be skills or a description of characteristics. For example, if you are a cashier, mention how you interact and problem solve with customers. There's also an option on LinkedIn to add your skills. This is important because it gives you credibility and also shows employers which skills you will have. Be sure to include any information that you would on your resume. This includes your education, previous jobs, skills, awards, and certifications. Also, use your account as a portfolio. LinkedIn is great for portfolios because you can include content that you cannot include in a resume. So for example, if you're an art major, you can include your art. If you're a media major, you can include videos or pictures that you have. Once you set up your account, you may begin networking. If you are a student, building your network can be as simple as connecting with classmates. Networking can also be coworkers. If you have family friends that are in your field of interest, add them too. Once you start adding mutuals, LinkedIn will recommend more people for you to connect with. The more people you add, the easier it gets. LinkedIn is a great tool for networking because it allows users to create connections that can only be made online. Online connections can be valuable because you don't have to be in person to create these connections. Now is the time to create your LinkedIn if you don't have one yet. While in college, you'll meet a lot of people that you'll want to connect with. Be sure to add classmates, people from organizations, and coworkers. Take advantage of LinkedIn before you graduate. Remember, LinkedIn is not as simple as creating an account and networking. Don't wait to build your LinkedIn account. Take advantage of it now. Your LinkedIn will grow your network and make finding jobs easier. Additionally, LinkedIn will lead to future jobs down the road. Get started on your account and begin your professional career journey.
Okay, I'm going to focus on the do's and don'ts of networking. The don'ts of networking. You don't want to focus only on getting a job. Networking is all about building connections. So don't focus on only getting a job. Make sure you're building connections that can help you gain experiences, do like internships, a bunch of other things. Don't be overly aggressive. Don't forget to dress professionally, even if like the company, so you're going into an interview, even if the company has like a more relaxed dress code, it's better to be overdressed than underdressed. Don't wait until senior year start, although it's not a bad thing if you do. It's just a lot more helpful to start early. Avoid talking only about yourself. Ask questions about the company, about the interviewers, like experiences, and don't neglect your online presence. Make sure that you're keeping your like LinkedIn or Indeed profile updated with all your skills and experiences. The do's of networking, like I said, optimize your LinkedIn profile. Sam gave us a lot of tips and tricks on how to do that. Engage on social media and join online communities. I know LinkedIn has a lot of different groups that you can join with a lot of professionals in different job areas and focuses. Definitely utilize that. You can use a lot of university networks like Tess is going to talk about later. You can attend webinars and virtual career panels. Email professors and guest speakers. I know I have had a lot of speakers come in to my classes that they say that they hire a lot of Ball State students for like internships and stuff. So it's definitely very helpful to reach out after speakers come in or even like connect with them online. And then also attend career fairs and networking events. Ball State has a lot of career fair opportunities for each major and focus group. They're definitely very helpful. A lot of companies, big and small, come in. So we're going to talk about some career fair tips and tricks really quick. Before the career fair, you kind of want to research the companies that are going to be there, look at their goals, maybe some projects that they've done recently. This will help you build questions to ask them while you're there. Update your resume. Make sure that it is updated with all of your experiences and skills to highlight you as best as possible. Prepare your elevator pitch. Talk about yourself a little bit. Highlight your accomplishments and dress professionally again. During the career fair, you're going to want to be confident, smile, and make eye contact. Ask a lot of good questions. Take some notes. This will come in handy later. Prioritize small companies too. Don't just reach out to all of the big name companies. And network with other attendees while you're there. After the career fair, it's important to follow up with who you talk to. You can reach out via email, say like, it was great talking to you. I really liked this, something that you noticed from your conversation. Apply online and reflect on your experience that you have talking to them.
Yep. All right, so now we're going to talk about 2 interviews that we had subject matter experts for. I interviewed both Eileen and Havilah Worthy. Both of them really harp on networking in terms of their own experiences. We will get into an interview later with Anna live, but for now we'll say that she is the coordinator of employer relations for Ball State University. Her biggest events that she plans are the career fairs that we just talked about. And she recently received her bachelor's in communication studies, relationship and personal from Ball State.
Hi, Anna. Thanks again for meeting with me. The group and I talked earlier in this episode about why it's important to network and how networking truly is the key to a successful career. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I absolutely agree that networking is highly, highly influential and a very large part of the key to successful careers, especially nowadays. The job market, as we all know it, is very hard to break into, especially as a young professional trying to help young professionals. But the best way I think people can get in there is knowing a person or having a family connection, a work connection, a teacher connection, something like that. And I really feel networking is going to be at the forefront of career services as we move forward.
No, yeah, I totally agree with everything you just said. Would you consider networking a skill in and of itself?
Absolutely, I believe networking is a skill. I think you have to practice at it. It's just like riding a bike or playing a piano. You have to practice at it. You have to constantly work at it. And it's not something that comes naturally to everybody, but it can be worked towards. And I think people who want to be career-driven individuals will be good at networking and force themselves to network, even if it's not their ideal environment or they're nervous, antisocial, whatever it is. So.
Absolutely. And speaking of networking, you just kind of wrapped up putting on a big event for Ball State students in terms of connections and networking. Do you want to talk a little bit about your experiences setting up the career fair, making that a success?
This has been an event I've worked long and hard towards. This is the third one I've seen now, my second one personally running. We host the largest job fair in the state of Indiana. It's definitely not an easy undertaking, definitely not how I thought my career would start off as a 23-year-old young professional. We started working on it in May and got super serious and started grinding down on things in July. It takes a team. It takes my entire team, and I'm so grateful for all of them and all their hard work and their willingness to all jump in, specifically in our employer relations department. I really couldn't have done this event without them. You have to work on contacting the arena to make sure our date's cleared, and reaching out and trying to get employers present was a struggle. We were hoping to even hit 140. We didn't think we were going to hit our max, and we hit maximum capacity of employers and students for the first time ever. So that was a really exciting process. You have to jump through so many hoops, get parking, get lunch. I really strive for personalization in my work life. So I made personalized thank you bags for our 15 employer partners that were present, as well as handwriting them a thank you card. We put individualized packages that said thank you to each employer, all 184. We even were able to end up getting 2 more employers that had not registered for the fair by the time of the fair, but they showed up and wanted to be there. And I said, absolutely, we will not turn you guys away. So it was a really big event. It's also just really cool to be able to say that I, as a 23-year-old young graduate of Ball State myself, pulled off the largest job fair that Ball State has ever seen. So that feels really good. It's very fulfilling.
That's wonderful. I'm really glad to hear that you're hitting your own personal strides and goals at such a young age too in your career path. That's just amazing. Something else I wanted to cover with the whole career fair and networking in general is that sometimes when people go to these events, they don't find exactly the employers that match what they view their skill set as or what they want in their life. Would you still recommend getting the contact information and names of these employers for future reference, or would it be best just to focus your energy on people that match exactly what you want?
Oh, that's a good question. Yes, 100,000,000,000% yes. I would recommend people to get contact information for any company that would talk to them. It's a hard job market right now. You always have to try and put your foot in the door wherever you're able to. But also coming from the CCIM, I graduated in May of 2023 with my communication studies degree with a focus in interpersonal. There's not a direct career path for a communication studies major, and so when I was looking for jobs, I didn't have a specific area, and I feel like that could be related in marketing, sales, even music or things like that. There's not always a direct line. Obviously, if you're a marketing major, you want to work in marketing. But even if you see a hospital, for example, Reed Health is one of our partners. They still have to have marketing people, and they still need coordinators, and they still need HR representatives, and they still need, teachers, educators. So I always highly recommend and can't say enough to branch out, go up to a company, even if it's a steel company, try and just see what they are looking for. If they see something in you and you have a really good connection with said people, they can find jobs for you, and you can also just work your way up in said companies to end up being at a bigger part that maybe has more to do with your field that you're studying in. So,
Last question. Do you think networking is the key to having a good, long, and healthy career?
this is a good question. I think networking is a pivotal and becoming more prominent in the workforce, and how jobs are made is by networking. I don't know if I would necessarily say it's the key. I mean, you have to have connections, right? And anywhere that you work, you have to have a connection. And to have a connection, you would have had to have networked. I think it's very pivotal and it's very important, but I don't think I would necessarily say this is the key. You yourself have to hold the keys for whatever specific field you would be working in. For example, my fiance is very driven when it comes to school, very, very involved in his field of music production. And I think that's his key, is his drive and his hard work. But for others, that might not be the case. But, it also kind of comes back to the fact that he did network to make said things, to make his name get put out there. So I think it's very pivotal. I'd say it's probably in the top 3 most important skills in the job, but I don't know. I think it's kind of open for debate and or open for other interpretations of what would be the number one key to finding a good long-term career.
Havilah was used for one of our subject matter expert interviews. She got her degree in communications, but emphasizes marketing objectives in her jobs. Havilah said that connections as a concept is the foundation of the business world and really any world in general. If we aren't able to speak and connect with one another, then we aren't able to grow and prove our wits. Making yourself stand out in a world full of noise feels impossible sometimes, especially in the marketing world. But understanding the networking rules and the do's and don'ts really makes you stick out from the others. Havilah encourages people to go to their career fairs that the campus runs. Go to the outings that your class talks about. If your professor ever offers extra credit, that's amazing. If they don't, it's good for you. She says it's extra credit for your career if you go to these. Havilah notes that showing up is one of the biggest parts of networking because it's how people remember you. Were you early? Were you late? All of those things. She says that people can get kind of lazy with their jobs or too comfortable and not prioritize their work. But in terms of networking, just showing up and making sure that you're seen first is a big part of getting that job. In terms of networking, Havilah really emphasized being open to positions outside of your wants or open to talking to people that you wouldn't normally talk to. For example, you may see yourself marketing for sports or marketing for theater, but if you're only looking for people to network in those parts, you're never going to talk to people outside of that could find you a job elsewhere. So that's like the beauty of networking. It's just constantly meeting new people who have different focuses or interests than you. Let's see what else Havilah said. We have it all written down here, so it's kind of hard to read. Havilah really emphasized pursuing things that make you happy and networking with people that make you happy. It's good to burn bridges if they're toxic, but if you can help it, do not burn a bridge with somebody because that will get back into the networking world. New future bosses will hear about it, and so it's good to end on good terms always. She says it's a-okay to dream and find what you want, but don't be afraid of the change of direction that life has waiting for you. Communicate efficiently and communicate thoroughly. Don't leave people unanswered if you don't wish to say yes to them. Say yes or no. Tell people exactly what you feel or what you think. You can sugarcoat it if need be. This will allow for an open line of communication and networking. Support your peers, show up, and be open to new things. Doing all three of those things will not only make you stick out to recruiters, but they will also help you develop your livelihood, gain valuable connections, which is good for favors later on, and you can grow in your own skills.
Awesome. So I was just going to dive a little bit into some of the resources that are out there, specifically around Ball State, so you guys can find ways to get involved as well. So there's also, we've talked a lot about LinkedIn and some of the career fairs that are going on, which is awesome. You definitely should get on these things. But there's also something of a Ball State's their own LinkedIn, which is called the Cardinal Connect. And Cardinal Connect is basically focuses on mentorship. So if you're looking for someone who will give you guidance on your career, this is the place to go to. You can message alumni to get their support. You can interview with them. Sometimes even the platform can show job listings and stuff from alumni. And that's another way to get involved and find some jobs. And you can, so this is really just valuable for your personal career growth and has led to some students getting internship and job opportunities. So it's a really great resource. You can find the site by searching Ball State Cardinal Connect. And another thing is the Indiana Connection Lounge. It's just another resource. It's located at the Career Center in the Lucina Hall. The lounge is different from other networking opportunities because it's a more relaxed environment. So it's intended for students to just be their authentic selves while meeting alumni and employers. And that's a great way for you to network and ask for career insight as a student. And you can find out about other upcoming events on the Indiana Connection Lounge page.
Before we wrap this up, I just want to really emphasize the whole idea of networking. It's how I got my job now. I'm sure it's how most of us will be getting our jobs later on. It's just Ball State really emphasizes it, and we really want to emphasize it. This is the people that you will know the rest of your life and the people that will do favors for you and for the future generations that you do end up meeting. So it's just really important to place yourself in a vulnerable spot to be open with new recruiters, but also realize that everybody does it, so it's not the end of the world. And just put yourself in like a good headspace about it. I think that's the most important thing. So now we're going to wrap up our episode. We want to thank you for joining us today. Havilah Worthy asked not to be linked in this video, but our other interview for Anna Eileen, you can reach her via email with any questions or concerns about your career, your futures, the career fairs offered at Ball State. You can reach her at aefigel@bsu.edu. We want to thank you for listening, and we hope that you guys come back here soon.
Before you go, we're just going to have a little recap of everything that we've talked about. So when it comes to networking, it is so important, not just when it comes to finding jobs and having these connections for references and such, but they can be a guide for your future. You never know what's going to come up. You never even know necessarily what you're going to end up doing in your future. And so having all these different connections, whether they're related to you or not, could be really impactful. And going into that, make sure that you have ways to communicate with people. LinkedIn is a platform that is made for professional networking. Make sure that that is updated and professional and has some of your projects and work in there, and take advantage of the classroom environment and the college campus. Connect with your classmates, members of organizations, co-workers, etc. Before attending any career fairs or networking events, make sure that you're dressed well and you've done your research before going there, before meeting people. Have a elevator pitch prepared and follow up with people afterwards. Don't forget that there are resources out there, such as the Ball State calendar. There are some events coming up like the Miller College Business Networking Bash and the Miller College Dialogue Days. And we have the Indiana Connection Lounge, where events are happening all the time. And of course, the Alumni Network. So keep in mind all these tips today to get started on your career journey.